Hello, my name is Casey Martin, and I'm with the group that's presenting Outsourcing of Student Services. My focus of my presentation will be on the outsourcing of student support services. So with that, let's get started. First, let's take a moment and define student support services. They can be defined as those services supporting students by promoting academic success, social engagement, and personal development. They are often thought of as being peripheral to the teaching, learning, and research mission of post-secondary institutions, yet considered necessary for successful recruitment and retention. To avoid confusion, this presentation is not about the federally funded program, TRIO Student Support Services, which provides these same services to underprivileged, disadvantaged, or underserved populations. I will be discussing university programs that are modeled after their federally funded counterparts, typically housed in a university's Student Success Center, and receive their funding either directly from the university or through other grants. So, what are some examples of student support services? Examples may include counseling, including personal, academic, and career, disability services, financial literacy, academic support and enrichment, including tutoring, study skills training, mentoring, and remedial education, and finally, academic orientation and transition assistance, including new and transfer student support, student placement, and time management skills. What are the advantages then of outsourcing student support services? Well, first, purely financial reasons. Admittedly, counseling and tutoring services can be expensive. Third-party providers can in most cases provide the same level of service in these areas at lower cost. The elimination of a student success center opting for a third-party service frees funds for other core mission-related expenses. 2. There's an opportunity to have broader expertise and specialization through an array of previously unavailable counseling services. 3. There's an opportunity to have broader specializations in academic services in previously unavailable tutoring services. And finally, 4. There's a greater level of service with less waiting time, as seen through online tutoring services and 24-hour counseling. So then, what are the disadvantages then of outsourcing? Well, first, costs are typically passed on to the student. Second, in clinical counseling, there can be a loss of expertise in counselors well-versed in student development theory. Third, there can be a loss of connectivity with the student, with university staff as they work with the third-party provider, which can directly affect retention. Fourth, there can be a negative impact to campus culture and climate when a success center previously staffed with university employees is replaced with third-party providers. Friction from resentment, anxiety, and fear can creep in, affecting the university community as a whole. Fifth, there may not be the same level of accountability as there was in the case of a university employee staff center. Sixth, some select services may no longer be offered through the particular outsourced provider. And finally, seventh, it can affect revenue, as in the case of CLEP testing, which is actually a revenue source. Admittedly, this is a difficult area to completely outsource in that student support services is not as clean-cut as food service or housing, where administrators can clearly draw the line as who provides it, who pays for it, and where it's available. Along with the typical considerations when considering outsourcing, institutions that choose to do so with student support should strategically select the service to privatize based on need and university mission, as in the case of University of Arizona, which recognized that college students were arriving on campus lacking the necessary math skills to be successful in an undergraduate program. UA partnered with Pima Community College to conduct remedial math courses in UA classrooms. This enabled students to avoid shuttling between campuses, and Pima realized a significant increase in tuition-paying students. Increasingly, students are arriving on campus having academic shortcomings. For example, in 2009, at the community college level, nearly 60% of students entering college took at least one remedial course. Many are requiring counseling or advising services. As these needs affect retention and recruitment, universities are responding as they have before by providing the desired services. How universities will fund these is a question for the individual institutions. outsourcing is but one strategic tool in budget planning that should be carefully considered when it comes to student support services.